What's up, everyone? How's it going, guys? Yo, what's up? Thanks for joining. How's it going? Awesome. Thanks for hopping on, guys. We're gonna get started here in just a second. What's up? How's it going? Awesome. So stoked you guys are with me today. Yeah, awesome. Hope you're well as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Sweet. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So we're going to start today. This is the Creative Corner. My name's Drew Williams. I am a Litra ambassador and creator for Litra, and I have been doing this now. This is my second live, and we're going to do a couple of things today. I'm going to talk about the lighting setup that I have, then I'm going to give you a studio tour, and also feel free to ask any questions throughout this thing, and then hopefully I can answer them for you. If not, we do have a couple of tech guys on the other line that will join in and comment as well. Awesome, all the way from Norway, very cool. From Brazil, sweet. Thanks, guys, for hopping on. Yeah, and feel free to ask any questions at any time, and I can answer those. So something really exciting happened this week on the Litra's website, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And not only is it something that I think is truly, valuable, we needed it. So that is the Litra cage. And I have one. They just sent me one, and I want to open it in front of you guys and maybe do just a quick unboxing. I'm not going to try to sell you on this thing, but I do want to talk about how cool it is. It really is a unique piece of equipment that Litra has been making. What's up, Scott? How's it going, man? Thanks for hopping on. Look at this thing. Look at all of the options here. So it comes with a handful of 1/4-20s and some other pin sizes as well, which is really cool. And it has all of these different slots that you can mount a light into. So we could do like 4 studios across, like on the top or on the bottom or in the middle. You could do even more. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and then 5, 6 on the bottom. So you could have a ton of really cool or extra lights than you would actually use. And then obviously you can mount that to a light stand. So it shows up to 4 studios on the back, and then it also shows how to mount 4 pros on the back as well. I think that's really cool, and I just think it's a unique piece of equipment that was much needed. Sometimes creators complain about not having enough light just from the small lights, and I think, oh, thanks so much, man. Appreciate that, Chad. And I think this is going to really help solve that problem. I mean, not only can we hand hold this thing and kind of Hollywood our lights if someone's walking and we're following camera, but we can mount it to the light stand and now have up to 5 to 6 times the power of what we had. Think about maybe putting like 4 pros on this thing and then having soft boxes. I mean, that's the size of that's bigger than a 1x1 panel almost. So really, really unique. I'm really, really stoked on this thing. This is the first time that I've actually gotten it out and have touched it. So it's really cool. It feels really durable, like all Litra products are, which is really cool. And then again, those extra pins that come with the set, just so we can mount any lights that we need. And then you can add pins as well. So again, that's the Litra cage. I just wanted to show you guys that briefly because I was really impressed by what I saw in the box, and I wanted to unbox it in front of you. So very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Litra, for sending me that. Appreciate that. Gonna make something really cool for you with it. Maybe what I'll do is, since I just showed you guys the cage, what I'll do is I'll set up a setup for Thursday. What I'll do is I'll set something up on the cage and have it mounted to the light stand, and then we can look at like maybe compare and contrast differences of with the cage or without the cage and see if we can tell a difference. So I'll show you how that works maybe later in the week, which will be really cool. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Appreciate that. Very cool. Love the packaging too. Just crushing it with packaging. Awesome. So I wanted to talk a little bit. I just got a compliment on the background. As you can see, obviously these are vintage cameras. There's a handful of 8mm cameras and then 2 Polaroids on the back. Really fun fact. I mentioned this last week, But the camera that's right here, this is an 8mm Keystone, and that camera was actually my grandfather's, which was really cool. That was the camera he saved up to buy before he started working at RCA and actually building and repairing cameras. And in memory of him, I actually got that camera tattooed on my arm, which is really cool. So that's a Keystone 8mm, and then there's some Bell & Howes and some Kensingtons up there too, and then obviously the 2 Polaroids on the side, which are pretty fun. That's just a fun fact about how I got this setup and the lighting specifically. So as you can see, it's a split light setup. However, I'm off the backdrop and I'm not getting any light bleed on me. No colors and no filters on me, as you can see. So I'm getting hit by 2 points of light right now as in my face. So I have a Pro Softbox on my left. It'd be probably your right since everything's mirrored. And then I have a hair light right behind me hanging down from my grid system. So you're getting this, see this piece right here? Watch, it falls off right in front of the hat, and then it'll move forward, and then it's gone. Well, I don't know, I did a pretty good job with it, so it's not falling off quite as much. Maybe if I move over here, then you don't see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it move back and forth. And I'll show you guys this lighting setup here in a second, but I wanted to kind of walk you through what I have right now. So again, a Litra Pro with the softbox, and we're getting this nice diamond shape underneath the eye. That triangle is exactly what we want for this type of setup. And this is, again, this is my home studio, so you can do this anywhere. These are, you know, very transportable lights, very small but very powerful. So it's really cool that you can bring these with you and kind of set this, you can mock this setup about anywhere you want. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like, but I'm just kind of explaining it to you now. And then I have 4 torches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 directly beside me. So as you can see, when I come back here, I get a little bit of light bleed on my arm. It's a little bit blue and a little bit red. That's because they're right out of the frame right beside me, which is pretty fun. So again, 2 on each on light stands, obviously with the filter set on them. And there's 2 reds and 2 blues filter sets, which is really, really cool. I love the filter sets. They've just really been able to like just kind of differentiate the lighting setup, and they're really easy and compact. So super, super fun. So we get blue over here, we split, and we get red over here, and then we kind of just, again, getting those close to me, but not letting them bleed on me when I'm in front of them, as you can see right here. And then that way they kind of merge in the middle and make kind of a reddish blue across. So you're getting blue hitting the front of the cameras and then reds hitting the side of the cameras. Makes it really dynamic and fun. So I think right now what I'll do, and again, ask me questions, Drew or Gru. You can call me whatever you want, man. Sometimes I feel like a Gru, so that works. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like now, kind of away from the setup. So I'm going to give you a studio tour. Yep, can I show you my set? It's about what I'm about to do. Awesome. Cool, so here we go, guys. I'm going to turn the camera around. And first thing that I want to point out is, obviously I have some notes here. My screen setting is very, very low right now. My screen brightness, I should say, because I don't want any of that light to bleed on my face and fill me in. Obviously, as you can tell here, my monitor is off because and I'll show you what that looks like when I turn it on, because it completely flattens out my face. Been working on our latest podcast, so that's kind of what I got going on here. I'm going to turn that back off just so when I sit down, it doesn't fill in my face and I don't get any shape. So as you can see right off the bat, first thing, and I'm going to turn the lights on for you, this is what the studio looks like from the outside here. But the first thing that you'll notice is how dark it is in here. And that is because I have blacked everything out. I have blackout blinds on both sides. I have skylines up here that are blacked out. And I also have a door, obviously, with a door window that's completely blacked out. Now, the reason I black everything out is because I want to have full control of my lighting setup. Absolute full control. If I have any light bleed from this window, all this is going to be washed out. Those colors are going to be harder to see, etc. So as you can tell, you get nice rich colors. There's my Pro with barn doors hanging from the top, and that's my hair light. That's nice and out of the way and out of frame, and all I have to do is sit down, have a seat, and I'm good to go. So there's the Litra Pro with barn doors. The reason I have barn doors on is I don't want that light to bleed on my backdrop, nor do I want it to flare into the camera, which is where I had it setting right there. All right, so I'm going to turn on the lights. I'm going to turn on house lights and show you guys kind of what it looks like when you come in. So again, just kicked on the lights. So here's a Sony A7 Mark III with the Tilt-A-Cage and Adamus monitor. Got the pistol grip, wooden grip on the side, which is really fun. And this is just a fun studio setup. And obviously when I'm shooting in the studio, I move the soundboards out of the way that are hanging on C-stands. And the reason I do that is because I like to obviously keep the volume in when I'm talking to you guys and keeping it as clean as possible. But we record a podcast in here, and they're just so much easier to move around when they're on C-stands. So I'll start back over here, and here's the kind of the camera area. Got a bike pump there just for fun. And this is kind of just like Litra accessories. I've got some pro setups here. Have my torches here. Have the pro setup there. And these are really cool cases that are available on Litra.com. My favorite Wonder bag. I just keep batteries and extra things in there. Some other parts, kind of random accessories. And then I have podcasting equipment in here, which is really fun. I just keep all of that there nice and tight, so when we need it, we pull it out and use the table. And as you guys know, a studio moves around a lot, so this doesn't look like this all the time. Occasionally, you know, when I'm not filming, or if I am filming with the big cameras, then I'm moving these soundboards out of the way and maybe hanging them from the top there. You know, if we're recording a podcast, we have 2 chairs here, and then we have the soundboards on both sides. Just makes it dynamic, but also, you know, the best quality sound possible. So you got a handful of stands over here. Some Litra bag, goodie bags there. Another mic stand for our 3rd guest on the podcast when we have them. Haven't had a guest recently, obviously, with everything going on, but very soon, I hope. Got our blackout boards there and some diffusion. Got our Rhino Arc armor bag there, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Here's kind of what's in the camera bag. So we have 7200 G Master Series lens hood, 14mm Sin Roki, and a 28-105 Sony. Just some other accessories, GoPro accessories, HDMI cables, business cards, things like that. And then I want to point out too that I have about 5 camera bags, so this is something that, you know, it's what's out here at this time. I've got the Ronin, the other Ronin inside. I kind of keep some of that stuff in here or out in the home, because this sometimes gets cold at night or too warm at night. Extension cables, obviously got to have your stingers. Got to have the stingers, gaff tape, which I need to order more of. This is a dolly system that I use in here, and the tracks are up top there, which is really fun. Nice stand. Obviously, that was for a dirt bike back in the day, but I use it to hang stuff from the top because everything is storage. Those blinds are actually for shooting direct light through, and you can make a really cool split light setup. IU flag, go Hoosiers. That's where I graduated from. This is essential, guys. I cannot stress how much an actual set cart or just a standard dolly cart, how important that is when you're moving in and off set and around. More lights in here, and the full Armor Man suit, which an Armor Man suit is, I put a DJI Ronin or Ronin 2 on it, and I wear it. It makes me look very bionic, but that's a really, really cool setup. I keep that in here. Standard, you know, light stand bags, dolly system if I need to move it, smoke machine, because hell yeah, smoke machine. And that is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. And it just makes awesome atmosphere and really can set a mood for your scene. So another thing that's really cool is, as you can see, this is a backdrop, and then we're getting back kind of over to the studio setup. So the backdrop, I have 2 available up here, and then I have a couple more in these boxes. I have green screens and grays, and then I have my white and my black that's hanging. The black can obviously go up, and that can change to any color that you want. And I bought this shelf a couple weeks ago on just a used site. I know it's IKEA, but what I did was I put it on casters, and putting this shelf on casters is a little sketchy, but what it allows me to do is move it around. So I can move this setup over to this wall. I can move it over here if I need to. I have a grid system up here that I can hang a curtain on if I need to as well. So it really makes everything versatile, and if I just want to use the black backdrop and light it completely different, or if I want to use the white, I can do that as well. So again, casters are super important. And now I want to get to showing you the actual lighting setup. So here's what that lighting setup looks like from front row, not including that Pro light up there. So there's the Pro, 4 torches, 2 on each side with filter sets, and then a Pro with the softbox. So Pro softbox, Pro with barn doors, torch with red and blue filters, torch and red and blue filters, and that is what we get. And that is how we get that look. So I'm gonna move over here, back to the desk area, and then over to, this is the first production company that I ever started. That was the t-shirts we made when I was like 12 or 13 or something, and I just thought that was fun and nostalgic. Again, this is a really cool piece that we have in the studio, and it's my logo for 43 Productions. The thing about it though is it puts off a lot of light. So again, I don't want any light bleed, so I'm gonna turn that off. Tools, because you have to have tools when you have a studio, they're essential. Nice Rhino arc slider here, Gen 1, not Gen 2. Shout out Rhino, send me a Gen 2 please, thank you. I have all the tools here. I'm just getting this ready for a shoot in here tomorrow. Sound system, TV, we got speakers up in each corner. Up top, got a Bose system there and there, which is really fun. It just, you know, if you want to turn music on and turn on a podcast or just watch TV, it's totally up to you. So that is the studio, and I wanted to show you guys that. And again, here's back with lights off completely, no light bleed whatsoever, and then we're back to where we were. So that, hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I just wanted, before I turn the phone back around, to show you what this looks like. We have the Pro up there hanging with the barn doors, the 2 torches, got our Pro with the softbox, and we got the 2 torches on there. So let's see if we can get this looking right off the bat. So now I'm super picky, so nothing's aligned or anything like that. Now I have to figure out the best way to make it look good. Kind of make adjustments based on my backdrop, lots of lines. Composition is key, everyone. Does anyone have any questions? Not a ton of questions coming in right now. Feel free to ask anything. Ask anything about the products, ask anything that you guys want. But I just thought it was important to show you guys the actual setup, because yes, you can see what it looks like from here, but unless I show you from an outsider's perspective, it does absolutely nothing. So I want to make sure that if you guys have any lighting questions about this setup or your home setup, then hopefully I can answer those questions for you. Is the cage already out? Yeah, man, so the cage is out on the website now. So if you go to Litra.com, you can go and check out the cage, and that is available as we speak. So that's why I wanted to unbox it and show you guys what the cage looks like. And again, that's Litra.com, and that's just under accessories, or I think it's under, specifically it says gimbal, but this isn't a gimbal, but it's just support. Awesome, guys. Perfect. So kind of wanted to show you guys again just the size comparisons. So we've got the Torch 2.0, the Pro itself, and then the Studio. It's just fun to see these guys kind of next to each other, because a lot of times the website doesn't do that justice unless you read the tech specs. So there is all 3 of our products in one. What's my next project? Right now, Cali G5. Scott, I'm working on a drone video. A company reached out to me on Instagram on my page, and they're called Airy Drones, and they make these thumb controls for your controller. And I'm a big drone guy. I got my Part 107. I do it commercially and for fun, but mainly commercially. And they're these thumb grips that are really cool. So actually in here tomorrow, I'm shooting a review video for them. And it's not going to be a set down review. It's going to be more of, here's what it is, here's how you put them on, let's go use them and let's see if they actually work. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I just finished my reel, The Act of Doing, and posted that last week, which was really cool, and it's gotten a lot of good feedback. So if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's under, you know, YouTube/C/43 Productions. It's under 43 Productions, and it's called The Act of Doing. The link is also available in my bio on my Instagram page, and my handle is down there at the bottom pinned. So feel free to go over to that page and check that stuff out as well. I was really excited about that, and it's been a lot of hard work over the last couple years. Which light do I use which light do I use the most out of the Litra setup or the lineup? So that's a hard question. Not only was it hard for me to read, but it's hard for me to answer as well. I tend to switch back and forth. I really love the torch setups because they're so compact. Everything is, you know, small and the Litra setup, but in the lineup, but the lights themselves that I really love to take out of the torches are just so compact and so small. I can fit, you know, 20 of them in just a small case, and I'll take them out camping. I'll use them for different things. I'll put them on my dog's collar just so I can know where she is. But I do a lot of light painting when I'm camping out in southern Utah, and that's available on my Instagram page as well. And I feel like the torches are just so small but so powerful, and it's nice to have that, you know, for them to be that dynamic. So a lot of times when I'm going out for camping and like photo projects, I'll take the torches. For a studio setup like this, I love my pros and my studio itself, but you know, it's a toss-up between the studio and the pro inside a setup like this, because the studio just has so much going on. It's RGB WW. I don't have to carry filter sets anymore. I think the reason I tend to use more pros than the studio right now is just because I have, you know, I think I have 4 or 5 pros and I only have one in the studio right now. The studio is absolutely amazing for on set, and our short film that we started shooting before all of this whole thing happened, we had that on set with us every day. So it's crazy to go from a big 1x1 panel with a big battery just to this little 5x5 or 5.2 or 5.5 by I think 2 or 4 inches and then 2 inches thick. It's just awesome to go to something that small with that much power. A couple more questions rolling in. Will you have guests in the future live sessions? Absolutely, yeah. So we do have a lineup of people that we're talking to that are creators from Litra and Litra ambassadors, and they are going to join us. So I think as soon as Thursday, we're going to have some people on to talk about what they do, so you don't have to listen to me boring chat all the time, and it's not just going to be me and my setup. It's going to be other creators and how, you know, what their workflow is and how they get stuff done. So I'm really excited about that. Favorite accessory? Man. I think the Softbox. I think the Softbox is my favorite accessory out of all of them, just because of, first off, it's this small and it's that compact, and it's super easy to set up. It sets up super fast, and I'll show you guys really quick. I'll set the Softbox up for you because you saw it on the Pro Light. What's hitting me now is actually the Softbox. So, and I also wanted to point out that it is also you're also capable of using your Litra torch with the Softbox. It's not just made for the Pro. So if you get this accessory, you can put your torch into the Softbox, which is really fun. So again, I'm going to set this up. There's these 4 pieces here, and then there's this 5th piece that's super important. This is kind of your frame. This goes on the light itself. Got that in there. Click. Got the other side going in. There's 2. There's 3, and then, so 4, it's already done, which is great. And then go into 5, which is the Softbox part, which is really cool. What's up, Power Video? Check out the hat. Look at that timing. Oh yeah, support you guys all the way. Had a blast at your event last year talking and hanging out with everyone. Looking forward to this year if we can make it happen. And then, so there's your Softbox. Boom. Thanks guys, appreciate that. So that goes onto the Pro Light, nice and soft, super compact, easy and light. And then what's really cool is this accessory right here. Then this just pops on in there. You pop your torch in, have it on a light stand, and now your torch is ready to be used on the Softbox, which is just huge. And that's a little bit newer accessory. Love the softbox. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that is probably my favorite accessory out of all of them. But give me a week or two with this cage that they just released, and I might be changing my mind. So stay tuned on that. I'm excited to put something together for you guys on Thursday and show you that before our first guest comes on. It'll be really cool. Oh, do you have the torch adapter? I do, and last week I didn't, and I brought this out just for you guys. So there's the torch adapter. I just put it on. And that's how easy it pops off. So check this out. So that's what it looks like normal. That's what standard packaging looks like. You get this accessory. You click that on right there. Boom. And then I got a Pro right here. Convenient. Snaps right in. Ready to go. Which is obviously way too bright, and we're getting compensated from the auto that's in the camera. So you could do almost like a fill light. That'd turn into your main, because that's a little bit more powerful, right? Because we have 5% increment controls on the Pro, whereas we have just 3 standard settings on the torch. Look how good that looks though. That's what it looks like from behind. Yep, so that is the torch adapter, and that's what it looks like when you pop it off there. So it just kind of fills in and kind of frames out as if it were the Pro light. Very, very handy. Super stoked on that. Always stoked on new stuff that they have been releasing. Yeah, that's it. And that's like, like I said, it's a little bit newer, so we haven't been advertising that as much, but that's something that people are really excited about. So stoked to be a part of the family. That's gonna be awesome. It's a good accessory. How many lights do I need for a home office setup? First of all, lighting is subjective, right? There's like a correct way to do it, and there's a recommended way to do it, but you can do with 1 light. I mean, I have every light off in the studio, as you guys saw, just so I can get this type of setup, and I'm using 6 lights right now. So I got my main, my 4 torches, and then my hair light. Really all you guys need, and I'll turn this Pro off. So now this is all getting pushed on me from the backlight there, and the top there, as you can see, some light bleed if I lean back. So obviously I have these lights on still, but let's imagine those weren't there. And then check this out. So this is a cool little vlogging setup, and this package is available on Litra.com, and it's got the little handle and the stand, it's got the ball mount, it's got the phone mount, and then it's got a small torch on top. So if I were to hook my phone into this setup, and then I had some fill light in from all of my ambient light, if I didn't have everything else blacked out, this would look a lot more normal. All you need is 1 light. And as you can tell on my backdrop too, it kind of got washed out when I turned the torch on, because it's hitting directly at it, whereas my Pro is aiming down at me and it's avoiding the backdrop. So to answer your question, Allie, 1 light. 1 light's all you need. More lights the better, but you can start with 1 light. And if you don't have a light, see how dark I am now? My main's not on. If you don't have 1 light, then you can simply use window light. If there's a window right over here, don't put your computer directly into it where it hits you flat. Turn about 90 degrees and let it hit you from the side, or split the difference, go about 45, and then you'll get this same shape, because that's about where I'm at, is about 45 degrees off of me. So to answer your question, start with 1 light, and whatever you think looks good on your setup, whether it's a webcam or your phone, you can be the judge of that. Remember, lighting is subjective, so but there's a recommended way to do it. Awesome, guys. I'm just going to scroll through here to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Power Video, thanks so much. Appreciate that. I had a great time. You guys are so awesome. Lots of good people in that area. Lots of good, talented people. Any questions you guys have, let me know. Absolutely. Appreciate that, man. Very cool. Sweet. Awesome, guys. Well, this has been the Creative Corner with Drew Williams. I appreciate it. If you guys have anything you want me to answer really quick, go ahead and hit me up right now in the comments. Otherwise, we are going to get the show rolling for next week. So this Thursday. So Thursday we're gonna have our first guest on. It should be really, really fun. And I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but we're gonna surprise you guys. So we're gonna have more and more ambassadors coming on, talking about their lighting setups and what they're doing from their home studios or studios that they've been going to. So yeah, no problem, man. Excited to be on here and doing this. I think this is something that the video and lighting and photo community needs. It's just communication. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I'd be more than happy to help you guys. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys today. So we'll talk soon. This has been the Creative Corner. If you want, hit my page up on Instagram or hit me up directly at drew@litra.com. That's drew@litra.com, DRU. And I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Peace. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.